Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee Books and Rain. I'm Rachel with my coffee, with my books, and my reviews. No rain right now, but I certainly wish it would because it's crazy hot outside and crazy humid, and my hair is doing like this thing where it's like frizzy, and I tried to put some stuff in it, and so now this part looks kind of nice, but this part still wants to be fluffy because of the amount of humidity. I can't fight it. It looked really good for like 10 minutes this morning. Stepped outside, just over, done. Like, what happened? I tried to put a little bit of curl in it, and now you can see there's like a whoof, and then that's it. But anyway, we won't talk about that or the humidity right now. We're going to talk about Plagued number one. Plagued. I said that weird the first time. Plagued number one. The Mid-America Zombie Halfbreed Experiment by Better Hero Army. I know. I was like, who or what is Better Hero Army? But I'll get there because I did actually look at the author because I was like, who is that? Is that like a group of people writing? Like, what is this? A like a screenwriter sort of thing where we have a table of people? But we'll dive into that in a minute. Let's dive into the summary first. When Tom, the son of a powerful senator, becomes stranded in the plagued states of America while searching for his lost sister, his only hope of survival rests in the hands of a few grizzled veteran zombie hunters and a mysterious half-breed zombie woman he thinks may know where to find his sister. It is considered horror, zombies, dystopia, post-apocalyptic, science fiction, and young adult. Because even though it's lots of zombies, it's not overly graphic. I mean, there's a couple kind of graphic scenes. I mean, there's zombies involved, right? But no more than, well, I don't want to use the term, use the idea of Resident Evil because that's really kind of graphic. So maybe not as bad as that. It's only about 162 pages in paperback and was first published July 6th of 2013. Now, I had the audiobook and mine was really maybe only 4 hours long. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I want to say mine was only about 4 hours long. Here's a little bit more summary. So on Goodreads, there are two. One that seems to be for the audiobook and one that actually seems to be for the paperback. Now, I did have the audiobook, so interesting enough, I'm going to go ahead and read this as well because it has more after that where may know where to find a sister. So, in the aftermath of the zombie apocalypse, humanity won by creating a moat surrounding the plagued United States of America. Now, zombies roam freely, and only the most fearless of hunters venture in, but they don't hunt to kill. Zombie labor is too valuable a commodity. That's why Tom has come to one of the 3 sanctioned outposts along the Moaning Coast to check their sales records in hopes of finding his lost sister. When he instead finds a mysterious half-breed zombie woman who may know where she is, that's what he finds instead, is a half-zombie woman who might know where she is. So when the township is overrun by zombies, Tom, the half-breed, and a group of grizzled zombie hunters must fend for themselves in order to survive not only the zombie horde, but the military gunships trying to wipe out the infection. This debut book by Better Hero Army stands to become the start of one of the best new zombie series with its action-packed stories, great characters, and twists that keep you on your toes and breathless to every end. And now this is the one that was published on June 30th of 2025. So maybe the first one was published back in 2013. This is a republication. I do not know how they vary or how they differ, except this is an audiobook, and I thought it was really well narrated. Now, I just wanted to tell you about the author, Better Hero Army, because it does say Better Hero Army is the really cool pen name of American author Evan Ramspot. Under the Better Hero Army name, Evan writes about zombies, gargoyles, fairies, aliens, and pretty much anything that doesn't belong in mainstream. He writes about the cool stuff under the BHA name. He has a really cool website at www.betterheroarmy.com. He's sometimes active on Twitter at Better Hero Army, and he's in a bunch of really cool Goodreads groups. So there you go. I think he thinks, or whoever wrote this, thinks Evan is really cool. I hope he is a really cool person. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to invite him to a D&D session and we'll find out. I need to know, what is his character? So let us dive back into the book one. So again, I did have the audiobook version, but the audiobook version has my review and one other person's review. This one, the actual book review, has about 600 plus reviews. So it does seem like more people have actually picked it up in the past 12 years. And I would like to see what else he has written. I liked the audio, like I said. I think it was more action-packed that way. I was able to feel more in the thick of this zombie attack and than just reading it. So someone reading it to me is more like a movie going on in my head. Like hearing a movie from the other room. Like I may not see what's going on, but I can picture it pretty good in my head. And that's just how I feel about audiobooks in general, is when I'm listening to an audiobook with the narrator narrating it to me, I'm able to put whatever pictures I want to the scenes in my head. And so that's how I do it. So that's why I don't often maybe I don't imagine it quite correctly because my brain is just picturing it differently. But I would say it's got some horror, but it's got some humanity as well, because Tom has gone to this settlement, and I want to say he was with his brother. Now, by the end of it, I've forgotten what happened to the brother. Maybe he got eaten by a zombie, but he has gone to this settlement in order to try to see if there's any news of his sister. When Tom was younger, and I guess zombies were, still a thing back then too, he left his sister alone for just a very short period of time, and she was taken or bitten or something, but anyway, his sister got. So now he's been on the hunt for where is his zombie sister. I think that is the general gist of what is happening in this particular book. So that's kind of what happens, and he does realize that, even if he finds her, have you ever seen Shaun of the Dead, where at the very end, he's kind of got his best friend in the shed outside, and they play video games, but his best friend Ed has kind of got the chain, and he's a zombie, but they still can play video games together. It's kind of wild. I don't know. That's definitely not what Tom is picturing here, but that's what I pictured, is that he was going to get his sister and they were going to put her in her room and pretend like everything is kind of still fine. It's definitely not fine, but he also probably wants to ensure that his sister's not being used for some sort of again, they're using them like workers, and that's a pretty terrible idea, even if your sister's a zombie. Maybe you don't want that to happen to her. So I get it. Well, back at the settlement, before things break bad, he encounters this half zombie woman, and she is kind of a half-breed. It seems as though if a zombie woman, right before she's a zombie, if she's pregnant, the baby will be a half-breed. At least that's how, again, it sounded, is that I was like, okay, so if she's pregnant and then she gets bit right before she has the baby, then the baby can be a half-breed. And I guess this has kind of happened a couple times, but it's not super frequent. It's just not super rare either. But having this half-breed at the settlement makes him really curious, because she may be able to communicate, because she can go in where zombies can go, but she's much more controlled than other zombies are, and she is able to communicate in certain ways, but she's still kind of on that fence. Like, it seems as though unless she gets maybe bitten again, which I don't think is going to happen because other zombies, I don't think they avoid her, but they kind of still see her as one of theirs. Um, I think she's probably pretty safe from getting bitten, but it seems like that would be the only way she would go full zombie. Like, I'm not sure there's like really a definitive answer for that. Um, so I thought that was pretty creative. It does seem as though America now consists of these like walled areas, these walled districts, compounds, what have you, however you want to describe them, for wealthier people to be able to protect themselves. It sounds also like a lot of the rest of the country has just been abandoned because zombies are running around pretty freely, and you probably don't want to live out there, or you try to aim for one of these settlements and try to be as safe as possible in one of those. There is quite a bit of zombies and hunters violence. They do go at each other pretty good, taking chunks out of each other and all sorts of stuff. So that's where I say, like, you could probably put some, like, maybe, like, there's not what I would call, like, body horror. When I think body horror, I'm thinking, like, somebody is, like, fully splayed open, like, organs and intestines kind of laying around everywhere. But graphically depicted in wording. I don't feel like this one was that like defined. The gore is a little bit less of the focus, but I think it translates well on TV because some people just like to see that. I don't know, the splatter effect, perhaps. So this particular person, and I'm just going back to look at a comment that was made in March of 2016, and it says that there were some flaws in the origin story that didn't add up. Honestly, this read, and I'm again reading Dan's review, reads like a rough draft, some interesting ideas, but needs work. So I'm wondering, because I did not read the one from 2013, if he did do any tailoring or polishing on this particular version. Now, origin story wise, yeah, I can say it's probably a little flimsy, but it's a zombie book. I'm not really looking for sellability on the realisticness of it all. Like, I'm like, it's zombies, it's fine. Like, again, like, I'm not looking for real life here. Like, if I want, like, what I think our real life scenario, zombie scenario might be, is probably like Last of Us with the cordyceps. Is that right? The people that click and have like the mushroom fungus stuff. For some reason, that is my thought. Is that I'm like, that's probably pretty accurate if fungus decides it wants to start eating us instead. But I don't want to spoil the ending, but let's just say we do have some survivors. We are able to semi get out of there. Don't get attached to too many characters. And it sounds as though we may potentially get more of these in the future. I'm going to look and just see if there are perhaps more in this particular series. Since he wrote this one so long ago, I don't assume that for 12 years he's been trying to polish this particular book. It looks like, according to his Goodreads account, he currently has, and I'm just going to go ahead and click his name, Mr. Better Hero Army. Like, well, let's see. Click his name real quick. It says he has 19 books now. So we have Gargoyle instead of Gargoyle. It's Gargoyle. Okay, so there is one. The Mid-America Zombie Halfbreed experiment was the one we just read. The next one in the series is the Rock Island Zombie Counteractant experiment. And then we have at least 5. Yeah, we have at least 5. The Ironville Zombie Quarantine, the Battle Creek Zombie Recertification, Rectification, and the Angel Rise Zombie Retribution. So all of those sound actually really cool. I may look into seeing if I can find those books and seeing how long they are, because it also does say there is a zomnibus instead of an omnibus, so that's pretty clever. So the Plagued States of America Zomnibus, if you are looking forward to, if you're looking for it, maybe get the whole Zomnibus. And now I'm going to forever say that word because I really like it. I had never thought of omnibus with a Z. So, okay, Mr. Better Hero Army being super cool. With all of that being said, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. If you have not liked and subscribed already, I certainly hope you will. Oh, and I am again having another technical difficulty. I'm still using my Surface Pro just because I just find it's easier right now. But I went to use like a little wet wipe on my keyboard, and I think I've messed it up, because now when I type the A, it types a D and an A at the same time, and then when I type a C or an S, it types multiple letters. So I think I messed it up. I'm gonna have to order a new one, and that's just my bad. Oh, and I did kind of restart my Patreon. I am going to start creating content for my Patreon probably in August. I was using this month to kind of get it reset up how I was thinking might be the best way to do it. So I'm going to try to link my Patreon in the description of my channel, but also probably start trying to put it in the description box where I put the information about the video. So I have talked to you guys enough, and I will see you all on the next page. Have a great one. Bye.